Hey, I'm Sister Beej.
I'm Sister Megs, and this is Parkin Sisters.
I like the way you say that.
Thank you. So today we thought that we would do another mini-sode while we still figure out this whole podcasting biz, the
Yeah,
game.
the industry.
We're trying to break the glass ceiling because there are no female-only podcasts at all. It's still
No.
uncharted territory.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Good thing Tina's here today.
Yeah, that's Tina's my dog. She's a rescue, so she barks. She's half Great Pyrenees, so she wants to be a guard dog. And we live in a small apartment in the city where we absolutely do not need a guard dog.
I was gonna say where you are
Yeah.
well guarded. You are
Mhm.
tended by Tina. I also
Yeah.
have a baby who is half me and half my husband, and so therefore she's a baby. And yeah,
Is that how genetics are split?
yeah, I think so.
Just 50-50?
Although she, apparently, like if we were to go off of what she looks like, she'd be all you, I think.
She does look a lot like me.
Yeah.
I think even today, like I put like makeup on, and now I think my eyes look a lot like her eyes.
Yep.
So anyway, this is a podcast about Parkinson's.
Yeah, believe it or not, that's actually the main focus, but we
Mhm.
are going to share what's going on in our lives too. Sorry, I'm eating. I'm gonna stop doing that.
Yeah, it's okay. I put my crackers away like a professional before we started recording.
Well, thank God I have your lead to follow.
So a little background info if you didn't listen to our other kind of like introductory mini-sode. Betty Jane, or Sister Beej, is my older sister. She's 30, I'm 26. We also have a brother, and we grew up with my dad having early onset Parkinson's. He got it when he was 38,
I mean, he was diagnosed
right? Or
around 39, but
he was
we understand now that you're living with the condition for longer than that typically. The symptom before symptoms appear.
Yeah. So today I figured we would just kind of talk about our individual experiences with dad being diagnosed or seeing those symptoms, because I was 5 and Beach was 9.
I was about 9, yeah.
Yeah, so totally different experiences. I'll start off with mine, just because this is a question I get asked all the time by like friends, or just whenever someone's asking about Parkinson's, they're like, what was your dad like before? And I have no idea. I've only known dad to have Parkinson's. I've always remembered like his tremors, him trying to explain it as best as you can to a 5-year-old, a 7-year-old, and a 9-year-old. But yeah, it was just, I've never known my dad without that condition. It's always been like, we'd go to the grocery store and he would freeze up when he's putting it, because he always paid cash back in the day. He still does pretty much, but
yeah,
he would freeze. He's a cash man. He would freeze and have extreme difficulty putting things back into his wallet. And other adults I would watch, they had no issue with that at all. And I was just like, I don't know, it's dad's Parkinson's thing, whatever. I don't know. He always, was our basketball coach, t-ball coach, all of that. Put us in fucking tennis camp, which nobody liked at all.
No.
Yeah. But anyway, that's just kind of my experience with being a child of a person with Parkinson's.
Yeah, I would say you're, in a nutshell, you're talking about those first few years of our memories forming and trying to conceive of Parkinson's. I have solid memories without Parkinson's, but I would say that they're kind of, I would say they're actually probably as strong as the Parkinson's symptoms ones. I have a very clear vision of him like lifting me up in grandma's pool, and you just see your dad, I think as any kid does, your parent, as very strong, the Tina, there to guard you against any threat in the city, or grandma's pool. But yeah, his dyskinesia stands out to me the most.
Do you want to define dyskinesia to people that might not be familiar with it?
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. Dyskinesia is I think probably one of the biggest misconceptions about Parkinson's. I know growing up, a lot of people assumed that dyskinesia was an example of Parkinson's, of the movement caused by it, but in fact, it's a side effect of carbidopa levodopa, which is the only clinical prescription for treating Parkinson's symptoms. So it's actually the medication that causes that movement, and dyskinesia is dyskinetic movement. So Dad got Rosa. Here's our dad. This is Brian. You want to say hi? Hi.
Hi.
He stopped by to deliver my baby, who's going to join us for this minisode.
Yep.
Thanks, Dad.
Thank you, Dad. Love you. Peace out.
Peace out.
Yeah. Hi, Ro. So joining us is Betty Jane's 3-month-old daughter.
Hi.
Almost 4.
Almost 4.
Almost 4 months.
We're making it.
She'll be one of the many people in life that will say, my grandpa had Parkinson's.
Yeah.
Because I get that so often. Yeah. I don't know if I'm sure you have throughout your life as well, but
yeah,
every
or my
time
girlfriend's,
cousin
great uncle
has and I, and that's not me being sympathetic or unsympathetic. I can't say that word. I'm not without sympathy for those people. I always noticed, like, more often than not, because you think of it as like an elderly disease, right? You don't think that a man raising 3 kids in his 40s is having Parkinson's. It's just not as common, or it wasn't at the time. But anyway, back to you. You were explaining dyskinesia before Dad delivered your child to you.
Yikes, that sounds crazy.
It does.
Yeah, anyway, though, dyskinesia is kind of, I don't know if you're familiar with Michael J. Fox, but that's usually who people point to if they're not familiar with Parkinson's personally, as they say, oh, okay, so what he has and what he has typically in public situations is dyskinesia, and that's just excess movement, the brain processing all that synthetic dopamine. Anyway, and that really varies from person to person. Like, you'll hear from us and your neurologist and your friends and family that Parkinson's affects everybody differently. And that was another weird thing, I think, as a kid, is that you see your dad with symptoms sometimes, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes not.
Yeah. I think the hardest symptom for me when I was growing up was when Dad would freeze, because I was so young, and I'm still, as an adult, very small, but I was a very small child.
Yeah.
And so I didn't know what to do, how to move him around. Now, as an adult, when he freezes, I obviously am stronger, and I'm able to, you've done this too, like, move him on the couch, whatever. But that was, as a kid, I was like, I don't know what to do.
That's interesting, because I can't even think of him freezing until I was a teenager. I mean, I don't remember that happening. Yeah.
I've remembered it. It's not as extreme as it is now. Obviously, the Parkinson's has progressed. But I remember it at the apartment that we all lived in. My dad had after our parents got divorced, my dad lived in an apartment and we would go visit with him. Um, yeah, it was the same night that he taught me how to blow a bubble, like with gum.
Oh, nice.
With Hubba Bubba.
Hubba
Remember
Bubba,
the
for
big
sure.
pink?
Yeah, he still chews that.
It's so bad
With
for you.
passion.
But it's so good with bad. I love the grape one. The grape Hubba Bubba.
Oh,
That was my shit.
Grape
I love
flavored. Let that be known. Maggie can have the grape stuff.
I like grape flavored stuff.
Some
stuff. Hi, Ro.
I think that it's worth pointing out that we want to have this podcast as I'm staring into my future here. My child has really had me thinking about my roles and my relationships within my family, and thinking about what it's like to be a parent, and then to also have a condition like Parkinson's. And we say condition, it's considered a disease, right? It's Parkinson's disease, but I guess that's a topic for another time, but I am referring to Parkinson's. And I want to have this conversation because when I was a kid, when Maggie was a kid, we didn't have anybody to talk to about it. I mean, that's not to say we didn't have supportive friends and family, but it's a very specific experience, and I don't think we had the wherewithal. I mean, we didn't know.
Yeah, there wasn't a community for children of people with Parkinson's, and you're gonna hear me struggling with people with Parkinson's versus saying Parkinson's patients.
Yeah, that's another change.
So I will be correcting myself constantly, because Beej, being the oldest, knows the most, as well as having worked in the Parkinson's community for years. But yeah, it wasn't like emotional support groups for children of these people, so yeah, I remember in 7th grade, I was in the locker room and I met this girl, and she knew my dad had Parkinson's. She goes, my dad does too. And that was crazy for me to find a fellow 13-year-old whose dad is young, fit, whatever, but with Parkinson's. That was crazy. And he was in the process of getting DBS surgery. And before I lose my I had an idea as I was talking. Yeah. I think a cool episode would be about eldest daughter syndrome, or like not eldest.
I thought you said Elvis daughters.
Eldest, no, like oldest. The oldest daughter.
Oh yes, I'm familiar with this.
Yeah, with that concept, I think it'd be
complex.
Cool to talk and just like all the responsibility. You had all that on top of dad having Parkinson's. And so I think that'd be cool to talk about that, and even talk to some other older sister or eldest sisters like Jordan. And we can cut this part out of the edit, but
no, I think that's a good idea.
I didn't want to lose my idea. But yeah, so it was just cool. And comforting to know that someone my age was going through the same thing as me.
Yeah, and that stands out, I mean, to this day for you. You're not necessarily still connected to that person, but we hope that this podcast, we're not here to offer expertise, to offer any kind of medical advice, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But we can be here as a voice, and really you can consider us the person you might need to hear from about life with Parkinson's.
Exactly.
And we're going to tell it how it is. We're not going to salt or sugar wherever possible.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, just providing comfort, or if you're a parent of a child and like, maybe you have Parkinson's or
Or your
your
spouse.
spouse,
Yeah.
you can listen in, and maybe our advice and even just our stories about growing up Parkinson's can be
Yeah.
helpful. But this is a PG-13 plus
Plus,
podcast.
nice.
I
Besides the baby that I have here.
Yeah, but I will not filter when I say my swear words because I just want this to be as authentic as possible.
Yeah.
Parkinson's shaped my personality quite a bit. I mean, that's what I was gonna actually touch on, was having my dad having Parkinson's, but my two older siblings were so shy that I was the one. I don't know if you guys remember 411.
Oh, I do.
The
Oh my
information.
gosh.
Yeah, they Beach and our brother were too shy to call it, and so I was the one that called 411, or when my dad couldn't talk, because speech is dad's biggest problem. Or if we went to McDonald's all the time because he's not going to cook for 3 kids when he's dealing with this.
Yeah. Well, and or anyway, to
and
be honest.
Yeah, even if
he's not a chef.
Dad loves McDonald's fries, but yeah, I would order the McDonald's for us because my dad couldn't talk, and so that.
And we were like just mute children upon any social situation.
You and Jamie were so scared of adults, of strangers. But I don't know, and I think that may have shaped my outgoing nature.
Yeah, I'm sure. That's really interesting. I mean, I've thought about that, but not that explicitly. It makes a lot of sense that you would be forced to kind of hone your extroversion and your adult like language skills, basically.
Yeah, no, I think that's why I am extremely comfortable with like striking up conversations with strangers. Like that's just never been an issue for me, whether they like talking to me or not. It's like that's their movie. That's yours. I wish my teeth were this white in real life.
They look really good.
Why does Zoom apply a filter?
Zoom cleans us up a little.
Zoom cleans us up. All right. Oh, took a little break there. Our dad got tired, got tired, couldn't hold row anymore. So if we choose to keep this audio, we're sorry that you had to hear a baby, but listen, you got a mom that works, is trying to do this, creative idea project thing, and a baby. It's life. It's going to happen.
True.
Anyway, we just wanted to wrap up. We're very new to this, guys, so please don't be mean.
You know what? My goal for this family, among other things, is to make it to 100 episodes and listen to this when we record that 100th episode, just to make us feel really good about ourselves. Because we're going to do it. I'm really committed. I would really like to offer our experience and hope that it can be helpful.
Yeah, hope maybe some stories will resonate. And just plans for the future. We're gonna have our dad on. We should definitely we have tons of friends that have Parkinson's that we would love to have on and talk about their experiences. Old coworkers from Beej's old job, just social workers.
Just to be clear, exactly. We'll have social workers, including a licensed medical social worker on to talk about all kinds of things, from disclosing your diagnosis to your employer to filing for disability, really logistical, practical things, as well as the personal and anecdotal. So if you have, over time, we're really going to be looking for requests from the audience and any ideas or suggestions for what you'd like to have discussed that you don't hear about. That's what we're here for.
Amen. All right. Well,
All
this
right.
has been Parkins Sisters. I'm Sister Megs.
I'm Sister Beej, and this is Sister Rosa.
We're out.
We're out.
Bye.